What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're hopping on the PBE and looking at the new changes coming in. I don't really know what Riot have been smoking, but there are some really big and ridiculous changes this time. I'm going to be going into these a lot more in the next week, so if you want to stay up to date, make sure you sub to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's start off with probably the craziest one, which is the KATARINA. So this change is going to make her early game weaker, but her late game is absolutely insane. Your ultimate cooldown is going up from 90 to 45 depending on your rank to 135 to 15. I actually went into game, I loaded up the practice tool to check this was a legit 15-second ultimate rank 3 because I honestly thought it was a typo, but no, it actually is 15 seconds. Not only is that really low anyway, 15-second ult, but it's KATARINA's passive, so whenever an enemy champion dies within 3 seconds of Kat damaging them, her cooldowns are reduced by 15 seconds. That is why it's actually ridiculous. If anybody dies in a team fight and Kat has hit them, she instantly gets her ultimate back. Now she can use all of her spells, blow somebody up, she uses her ultimate, gets a kill, ult again, get another kill, ult again. What is that? It seems like if anybody dies versus KATARINA, then it's basically over. Like, one ultimate does a lot of damage. Like, 2 is really hard to survive against, but 3 or more, it's just gonna be over. But I guess, you know, you can't always get a kill at the start of a fight, right? So even if you ult at the start, you don't kill anybody, you can go in again in 15 seconds and use it again anyway. Why did they do that? Her ultimate is going up 45 seconds rank 1, so that is big. I know, it makes her lane phase harder because normally you'd use this for harass, to be honest, to get some control. Then again, in 90 seconds, you'd use it to kill somebody. You can't really do that anymore, so that is a big nerf to her, but I take that for being able to ult 3 or 4 times in a team fight late game. Let's move on to another ridiculous change, which is to JINX and her zap, her W. That long range thing can now crit. The first thing is this takes the 1% cheese crit rune to a whole new level. It's bad enough when an auto attack crits from 1%, but imagine how salty you'd be if it was from a W. Remember, by the way, for crit damage, it's 200% increase by default, and Infinity Edge increases that by another 50%. On JINX, rushing an Infinity Edge is actually legit too because of her rocket crits, even though most people don't do it. Your W is 210 base damage, by the way, and 140% of your AD. The thing is, this already really hurts. It means if you have 300 AD, your W does like 630 damage normally, roughly. It is kind of hard to hit. It has a cast time, I know, but it's still not that bad. After this change, with an Infinity Edge, you could do close to 1,600 damage if your W crit late game. I mean, I'll take that, but why would Riot even do that? If this change goes through, I'm gonna have so much fun with full AD poke JINX. Oh boy. So the last of the crazy changes today, actually there are 3 of them, is to Lux. By the way, before we get into this, just so you know, her ultimate has a 50-second cooldown of rank 3 at level 16 already. Keep that in mind. There is a new effect on her ultimate now. If she kills an enemy with it, then you get back 30 to 50% of the ultimate cooldown, depending on the rank. Now, firstly, that's not even that random or hard really to do. You E, Q, and ult as your combo to one-shot somebody most of the time anyway. Secondly, 50-second cooldown at rank 3 refunds 50% of the cooldown at rank 3. What is that? Oh, and silly me, that's not even thinking about the cooldown reduction she builds. Let's say it's only 20% from Relo. That is a 40-second cooldown ultimate already. You refund 50%. Even if it's after cooldown reduction, that's 20 seconds off it. So it's a 20-second ultimate cooldown in a team fight late game. I know in some games you will not get a kill, but imagine what happens when you do. Normally you burst somebody at the start of a fight, right? Then 20 seconds later you can ultimate again. That seems really hard to play against. The most common thing probably is going to be you bait a Baron, you get a kill from someone face checking, and then when the rest of the team comes to stop you doing Baron, you have your ultimate back again. That does not seem very fair to me. It's quite hard for the enemy team to track this though. Like, maybe she got the last hit with her E by accident. You play as if she has the ultimate, but she doesn't. And it's also just really punishing if your teammates make a mistake and die. Like, it's harder to carry a bad teammate. Also, the biggest thing in my opinion, it means she can burst your low health support with her full combo and not get punished for it. Normally if you do that, it's great, you kill the support, but you don't have your ultimate damage for the carries now, and there is a trade-off, right? But now there is no downside. So those are the big 3, but there are a few others as well, so let's get into those quickly. I'll try not to make this too long though. Alice's passive is now going to heal all nearby champions instead of just one, which is really cool, and also the E cooldown is down 4 seconds at all rank. The damage on that actually scales with levels, which a lot of people don't know, but that is being increased to 5 per level as well now. The E damage doesn't really matter, honestly. That kicks in late game and you're not really doing much damage anyway. The cooldown is a bit better though. The heal is really good though. That AoE heal is back. It's better when you're grouped and better in team fights as well. It's a nice change for Alistar actually, and the meta is coming back around for him with Ignite and more aggressive ADs. You have the AoE heal in a team fight and you can use your E more now. Jarvan is getting 2 changes to his W, his shield. So the base shield is increased early, but it's decreased rank 5. The scaling on it though is changed from a flat number, which was 100 rank 5, to 2 to 4% of Jarvan's max health. This is a really cool change actually. actually. I love playing Jarvan, so I'm kind of biased, but you do die too fast late game even if you build tank. There's not really any reason to build tank on him, honestly. You build a mix of damage and tanky, you dive in, you one-shot the enemy AD. That's kind of the only playstyle that wins, to be honest. But now with Stoneborn Pact giving you 5% health and this giving 4% max health as a shield, or even courage as well. That is two really big shields if you time it one after the other, right? You dive in with courage, knock up, and then you get the shield from your W afterwards. I think that could be pretty cool, actually. I expect to see a bit more of Jarvan jungle if this happens, honestly. Volibear is actually getting a buff as well. His ultimate is going to bounce up to 8 times now rather than 4, which is really cool, and it's also smarter, apparently. It's going to bounce to better targets. First off, Volley is actually not that bad. It's not as bad as people think he is, but he's also not that great. He's a really good engaged tank, but his damage does fall off, which is kind of what this is aimed at fixing. In theory, you're going to do a lot more damage in teamfights now, I think. You'll hit the entire enemy team, and you'll be a bit more relevant. There is also a new way to get the rewards from collecting chimes on Bard. I'll show you this image of what the changes look like from a writer, but it should just make Bard do more damage overall. If you're interested in this change, you should probably pause and read through it on screen now because it's way too much to cover. It's just a new way of doing it. At least though, we're going to have my lovely on-hit damage Bard. That's going to be even better with this change. So Kassadin is getting these two changes you can see on screen. It's a nice little thing, but it feels more like, hey, we actually think Kassadin is good in this meta. Go and give him a try with all these small buffs. Riot do this all the time when they think somebody is strong but he's not being played. They give them a little nudge and then the player base goes and tries them and finds out they're actually pretty good. If he comes back, it's not going to be because he's suddenly overpowered with these changes. It's because he's actually pretty good but nobody is playing him, or he's just going to suck still, one or the other. Lissandra has got 2 changes as well. They're nice quality of life things, but again, it's the same deal as Kassadin. This is not fixing her major issues. I'm not sure where she fits in, really. Like, bruisers can kind of punish her once they get some magic resist, and mid laners outpoke her massively. She is really good at killing those mages early though, and low mobility AD carry. So in theory, this is a decent meta for her, but it's a shame about like Lulu and stuff preventing the one shot later. It is still early into the new cycle, so we're likely going to see a few more. 2 I know are most likely coming that Riot have said are Camille nerfs and Graves nerfs. Camille should have her W only healing from champions now, and the slow will scale with the rank rather than all of the 80% of rank 1. They're going to aim the nerfs at her lane phase though. That is what we know. And for the Graves ones, we're not sure what they are yet, but Riot doesn't like how he fits into any game and any comp and still does well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this roundup for the new changes. Remember to subscribe and like the video if you did. Thank you for watching though. I honestly appreciate it. And for now, I'll leave you with the robots.